Have you ever woken up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. feeling a sudden jolt, as if your mind just unlocked a hidden door? Over the next 10 seconds, I'm going to reveal a secret process that your mind enters during those hours. One that can amplify intuition, expand consciousness, and reveal answers you didn't even know you were seeking. Stay with me, because once you understand this, your nights will never feel accidental again. Conventional wisdom says that 3 to 5 in the morning is just deep sleep or early wakefulness. But ancient spiritual traditions and modern neuroscience suggest something far more profound is happening. Your mind enters a hidden threshold state. In Chinese medicine, this is the hour of the lung meridian, when breath, grief, and renewal stir. In yogic wisdom, it aligns with the transition between alpha and theta brainwave patterns, when the conscious and subconscious minds begin to merge. How does it matter to you? Because during these pre-dawn hours, your filters are quieter, your higher self speaks louder, and your energetic field shifts in a way that greatly magnifies any intention you place there. Stage 1 begins with waking up. You might sit bolt upright, heart racing, mind racing, as though a message is waiting. The first 10 seconds after waking in that window are crucial. If you resist, you slip back into unconscious sleep. But if you pause, center, and tune in, you can tap an inner broadcast. I learned this accidentally when insomnia led me to spontaneously sit up every night at 4:13 a.m. At first, it was random anxiety. But soon I noticed recurring patterns, vivid thoughts, emotional clarity, insights about challenges that later resolve themselves. My guess is your mind is using that space to process and signal. The second stage happens about 10 minutes later if you stay awake and alert. Your brain begins cycling into theta, the realm of dreams, intuition, and deep subconscious processing. This is the same brainwave state used in hypnosis, lucid dreaming, and meditative insight. But you're not actively meditating, you're just awake in soft space. Your inner world is unfiltered, emotionally raw, and yet able to interweave symbolic insight with raw creative flow. That's where you can ask internal questions and receive guided answers. Let's pause and highlight a simple prompt you can apply. The next time you wake between 3 and 5, don't panic or reach for the phone. Set your intention before bed. Tonight, between 3 and 5, I will wake when you have a message for me. When you do awaken, sit upright, breathe slowly, and ask the question you need answered. Then observe what arises: an image, a sound, a memory, a feeling. It might take seconds or minutes. These truths, no matter how abstract, carry guidance. Write it down before morning erases it. Stage 3 is integration. Once you receive an insight, the trick is not to analyze or dismiss it. It's to trust the signal while your filters are still off. Don't judge the message. Don't dismiss it as random thoughts. Your 3 a.m. mind doesn't speak like your daytime mind. It speaks metaphorically, emotionally, and sometimes in symbols. For example, imagine you see a blackbird perched on a windowsill in a dreamlike image. At first, this seems random. Later that day, a friend calls unexpectedly, and the word calling resonates with the blackbird's cry. The message isn't about birds. It's about acknowledging that to receive new calls or opportunities, you need open space to listen. Stage 4 is a morning ritual. Simply record your insight, even if it's, "I felt a surge of clarity about my project." Spend 30 seconds reflecting without editing. Then carry that feeling forward into your day. Something as simple as noting 4:13 a.m. insight. Clarity about pitch will shift your perspective. It signals to your subconscious that you're listening and that your pre-dawn mind matters. Now let's unpack why this time frame is so potent. Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., your pineal gland is active, producing melatonin, but also DMT-like compounds that influence dream and visionary states. In certain shamanic traditions, this is considered the witching hour, when spirit realms are most accessible and boundary between ordinary reality and visionary consciousness is delicate. Modern fMRI scans show that during early morning wakefulness, brain networks linked to default mode, the deep mind, activate, allowing spontaneous thought, insight, and creative recombination. Essentially, your mind spontaneously enters a creative state of synthesis precisely when your conscious editor sleeps. Here's a practical experiment that can anchor this process. Tonight, before sleep, place a notebook and pen on your bedside table. Write the date and the time window at the top. At 4 a.m., if you wake, sit up, breathe, and ask your heart, what do I need to know? Then write down everything that arises, without judgment or coherence. It may be a phrase, a color, a sensation, a memory. Within a week, you'll find patterns, guidance about your relationships, your work, your next step. If you wake but don't receive anything, that's okay. Just record no message tonight and preserve your alignment. Over time, the habit itself primes your psyche to deliver more clearly. Let's pause. I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced waking in the pre-dawn hours with a clear insight or feeling that later manifested? Type 3 to 5 insight in the comments and share your experience. Your unsolicited story might be exactly what someone else needs to feel seen or guided. Now, a caution. Your ego loves to hijack this space. It will deliver fear-based thoughts. You're failing, you're sick, everyone is angry. That's old patterned anxiety, not pre-dawn wisdom. The filter is still open, but the content may be sabotage. The key is to observe. If your insight elevates and expands, pay attention. If it feels fearful or looping, label it ego noise and gently shift your focus back to your intention or a simple task like breathing or repeating a mantra. There's also the risk of overstimulation. If you chase every waking, your sleep deteriorates. Instead, treat this as a gentle invitation, not need. If you wake, you wake. If you don't, that's fine too. Your mind works below your awareness, whether or not you're conscious in that moment. Let me share 2 real examples from community members. Sarah, a private chef, started her practice and one night woke at 3:47 a.m. with a vivid sense of spice and heat combined with a gut-level prompt to call an old mentor. She wrote it down and next week received an unexpected invitation to co-create a new restaurant menu. She called it synchronistic flavor. Another example, Leo, a math teacher, woke at 4:03 a.m. visualizing geometric symbols twisting and recombining. He recognized them as formulas tied to his side project in code. He sketched them and a week later cracked a bug that had frustrated him for months. What you're tapping into between 3 and 5 is your creative observatory, your personal interface with universal intelligence. It's where your intention meets your being, and possibility ripples outward. It doesn't require trippy visuals or crystals. It only requires presence at 4 a.m. If you want to deepen this work, add a meditative session right before bed, 2 minutes of slow breath, and a simple invitation. If tonight I wake, I weave insight. Some practitioners add a mantra or a light visualization of opening a door in the mind. That sets the intention clearly. I'll close with this. The most profound guidance rarely comes in bright, sunlit moments. It comes in the silent flickers of dawn. When the world is quiescent, your mind's threshold lights up. Are you willing to meet it? So tonight, leave a pen and pad by your bed. Set your attitude to curiosity, not pressure, and let your pre-dawn mind become an ally, not an accident. If this message resonated, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss tools to master your mind, your nights, and your reality. Remember to comment 3 to 5 insight and tell me one waking you experienced. I'll highlight some in the next video. Stay present, stay open, and may your nights guide your days.